Destroy your doubts, burn your fears, and rise from the ashes of your setbacks. Turn every setback into fuel, every failure into fire, and rise like you were born to win. Your past is a chapter, not the whole book. Turn the page and start writing the life you deserve now. Let me ask you some questions. Have you ever felt stuck, like your life isn't where you want it to be? Maybe you've lost your sense of purpose, or you're just tired of the same old routine. The truth is, no matter where you are right now, you have the power to rebuild your life and start fresh. But how do you do that? How do you move past disappointment, fear, or regret and create a life that truly fulfills you? It's not about waiting for the perfect moment, it's about making the choice to change. Right now in this video we're going to talk about real practical steps you can take to turn things around. Whether you're starting over after a setback or just ready for something new, this is your chance to take control. Stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll see that a fresh start is not just possible, it's within your reach now. Let's dive in. Number 1. Take responsibility for your life and embrace change. Today when we talk about rebuilding your life, we're talking about taking control. It's all about recognizing where you are, where you've been, and where you're headed. Today is the day you make the decision to change. Right now, in this very moment, you have the power to change the direction of your life. First, let's talk about taking responsibility. Responsibility is the key to making a new beginning. We can sit back and blame the world for where we are. We can blame our upbringing, our circumstances, or even the people around us. But here's the thing: no one has the power to control your life but you. It's easy to look outward and point fingers. It's harder, much harder, to turn inward and say, this is on me. But here's the good news: once you take responsibility, you take control. That's when things start to change. You begin to realize that no matter where you are, no matter what has happened to you, the power to change your life is within your grasp. Now I know that change can feel overwhelming. You might be thinking, how can I change? Where do I even start? Let me tell you, change doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be some massive overnight transformation. In fact, real lasting change comes from the small everyday decisions you make. It's about making choices each day that push you in the direction of the life you want to live. Change is uncomfortable. No one likes it. It's scary to step into the unknown, to leave behind the familiar, even if the familiar isn't serving us. But here's the truth: if you want to build a new life, you have to leave behind the old one. If you want something different, you have to do something different. The good news is, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be consistent. The little things, the everyday choices, the habits you form, they add up over time. That's how change happens. It's the small steps you take every single day that compound into the bigger changes you see in your life. So what does this mean for you? It means that you have to start now. It's not about waiting for the right moment or the perfect time. The right time is now. You might not have everything figured out, and that's okay. You don't need to. But you do need to take that first step. If you're thinking, I don't know if I can do this, let me remind you of something. You've already made it this far. You've already overcome challenges. You've already dealt with hard times, and you've survived. That's not nothing. That's strength. That's proof that you have the resilience to keep moving forward. It's easy to look at someone who's successful and think they have it all together, but let me tell you, no one does. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's a result of many years of effort, of failures, of setbacks, and of learning from mistakes. The road is long, but every step you take brings you closer to where you want to be. But it all starts with responsibility. The moment you say, this is my life and I'm going to make the most of it, everything changes. You stop looking to others for answers. You stop waiting for someone to save you. You realize that you are the author of your own story, and you get to decide what happens next. Think about this: there's a part of you deep inside that knows you're capable of more. You know you can do better. You know that you have the potential to build something great. But here's the thing: you have to make the decision to act on that potential. You have to make the decision to start today. You have to believe that today is the beginning of something new. It's easy to get caught up in the past. We all have regrets, mistakes, and failures we wish we could undo. But here's the truth: the past is gone. It's over. You can't change it, but you can learn from it. You can take the lessons and use them to create a better future. The biggest mistake people make is holding on to the past and letting it control their present. They let their failures define them. They let their past mistakes keep them stuck in the same place, unable to move forward. But the key To rebuilding your life is letting go of that past. It's about releasing the hold that old stories, old mistakes and old regrets have on you. When you let go of the past, you free yourself, you open up space for new possibilities, you allow yourself to be the person you were always meant to be. It's not about erasing the past, it's about learning from it and choosing not to let it hold you back any longer. And here's something else: rebuilding your life isn't just about you, it's about the people around you. When you take responsibility for your life, you show others how to do the same. You set an example for your family, your friends and your community. You inspire others to take control of their own lives and make the changes they need to make. That's how change spreads, one person at a time, and it starts with you. When you embrace change, when you take responsibility for your life, you start to see things differently. You stop seeing obstacles and start seeing opportunities. You stop seeing problems and start seeing solutions. And when you begin to see opportunities and solutions, you open up a whole new world for yourself. But here's the kicker: the world won't always be easy. You'll face challenges, you'll face setbacks, and at times you'll feel like giving up. But here's the thing: every challenge, every setback is a lesson. It's an opportunity to grow. If you can embrace those challenges, if you can face them head-on with determination and resilience, you will come out stronger on the other side. It's not the challenges that define us, it's how we respond to them. When you take responsibility for your life, you also take responsibility for how you respond to those challenges. You can choose to see them as obstacles that hold you back, or you can choose to see them as stepping stones that help you grow. The choice is yours. You're capable of more than you know you have within you. Everything you need to rebuild your life and create something beautiful. It won't be easy, but nothing worth having ever is. So take that first step, own your life, take responsibility, and embrace the change that's waiting for you. Number 2, let go of the past and focus on your future. Letting go of the past is one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do, but it's also one of the most important. It's easy to get caught up in the past, to hold on to old memories, mistakes and regrets, but the truth is, if you keep holding on to the past, you'll never be able to move forward. The future you want is waiting for you, but you can't reach it until you let go of the past. Now, I'm not saying that the past hasn't shaped you. It has. We all carry pieces of our past with us. It's part of who we are, but there's a difference between acknowledging your past and letting it control your present. You have to ask yourself, are you living in the past, or are you living in the present? Are you stuck in old stories, or are you building new ones? The first thing you have to understand is that the past is over. It's gone. You can't change it. You can't undo what has already happened. No matter how much you wish you could go back and fix things, the truth is it's not possible, and that's okay. The beauty of life is that it's constantly moving forward, and so should you. What happens when you continue to hold on to the past is that it keeps you in a state of regret. It keeps you thinking about what you could have done differently, what you should have said, what you should have done. But guess what? That doesn't serve you anymore. Regret is a heavy burden to carry, and it keeps you stuck in the past, and when you're stuck in the past, you can't move forward. The key to moving forward is forgiveness. You have to forgive yourself and others. Holding on to grudges, resentments, and bitterness will only weigh you down. If you want to free yourself and create space for a better future, you have to let go of those negative emotions. You have to forgive, not because the other person deserves it, but because you deserve peace. Holding on to anger and hurt only hurts you. It doesn't affect the other person. So take a deep breath, let go, and release yourself from the grip of the past. Forgiveness isn't just about others, it's about forgiving yourself too. We all make mistakes, we all fall short at times, but those mistakes don't define us. They are part of our journey, not the end of our story. When you forgive yourself, you give yourself permission to move forward. You give yourself the freedom to grow, to evolve, and to build the future you deserve. Another key to letting go of the past is accepting that things didn't go the way you planned. Life doesn't always turn out the way we expect. Sometimes things don't go the way we want them to, but that doesn't mean the future is doomed. It just means that life is full of unexpected twists and turns. Sometimes the things that don't work out are just preparing you for something better. When you release the need for things to be perfect or according to your plan, you open yourself up to the possibility of something greater. You stop fighting against the flow of life and start embracing the journey. You start seeing obstacles as opportunities to grow, and that's when the magic happens. Letting go Of the past also means letting go of old stories. We all have stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what we can or can't do. These stories are often shaped by past experiences, failures, and judgments from others, but the problem with these stories is that they limit us. They keep us trapped in old patterns of thinking and behaving, and if we're not careful we can spend our whole lives repeating the same story, never giving ourselves the chance to create a new one. The key to breaking free from these old stories is self-awareness. You have to recognize the limiting beliefs you've been holding on to. You have to ask yourself, is this belief serving me? Is this belief helping me move forward, or is it keeping me stuck in the past? The moment you recognize these beliefs, you can begin to change them. You are not the sum of your past mistakes. You are not the product of your old stories. You are a unique, evolving person who has the power to create a new narrative for your life. The story you tell yourself today is the story that will shape your future. And you have the power to rewrite it. When you let go of the past, you make room for the future. You make space for new opportunities, new experiences, and new people to enter your life. You open yourself up to growth, to change, and to the possibility of something greater, and that's when you start to see things differently. The future is a blank canvas. It's an opportunity to create whatever you want, but the only way to step into that future is by leaving the past behind. You can't keep carrying the weight of yesterday into tomorrow. You can't keep living in old patterns, old habits, and old ways of thinking. The future is yours to create, it's yours to build, and the only way to build it is by letting go of everything that no longer serves you. You have to release the past in order to step into your potential. You have to stop looking backward and start looking forward. It's not always easy. I know that letting go of the past takes courage, it takes strength, but here's the thing: you are stronger than you think. You have the strength to release what's holding you back. You have the strength to let go of the hurt, the regrets, the disappointments, and the fear. You have the strength to move forward one step at a time, and every time you take a step forward you get closer to the future you've always wanted, the future where you're living in alignment with your true self, the future where you're free from the past and fully embracing the present, the future where you're living the life you deserve. I want you to ask yourself right now, what would happen if you let go of the past? What would happen if you forgave yourself and others, if you released the stories and the old beliefs that have been holding you back? What would happen if you stopped living in the past and started focusing on the future? The possibilities are endless. The future is full of hope, full of potential, and full of opportunities, but you can't experience any of that until you let go of the past. You can't experience the beauty of the future if you're still carrying the weight of the past with you. So I encourage you to take a deep breath and let go. Release the past, release the regrets, release the fear, let it all go, and as you do you'll begin to feel lighter, you'll begin to feel freer, you'll begin to feel a sense of peace that you haven't felt in a long time, and that peace will be the foundation of the future you're about to create. The future is waiting for you. It's there just beyond the horizon, and it's full of all the possibilities you've been dreaming of, but the first step to reaching that future is letting go of the past. It's time to stop looking backward and start moving forward. It's time to embrace the future and all the amazing things it has in store for you. Number 3, push through your fear and create a new beginning. Fear is one of the most powerful forces in our lives. It has the ability to paralyze us, to keep us stuck, to prevent us from stepping into the future we want. But here's the truth: fear is not something to be avoided or ignored. It's something that must be faced head on, and when you push through your fear, that's when you create a new beginning. Think about the things in your life that you've been avoiding, the dreams you've put on hold, the risks you've been too afraid to take. Fear keeps us from acting, from reaching for what we truly want. But here's something important to understand: fear is not the enemy. Fear is a signal. It's a sign that you are on the verge of something important. It's a sign that you are about to do something new, something bold, something that will change your life. If you want to create a new beginning, you have to be willing to face your fears. You have to understand that fear is part of the process. It's not something you can wish away or hope will go away on its own. Fear is something that has to be conquered, and the only way to conquer it is to push through it. Let's talk about what happens when you push through your fear and you face your fears and take action in spite of them. Something amazing happens. You begin to build confidence. You begin to prove to yourself that you are capable of handling the challenges that life throws your way. Every time you push through a fear, you grow stronger, more resilient, and more equipped to face whatever comes next. But here's the thing, fear will always be there. It doesn't disappear just because you push through it once. It's a part of the human experience. We all experience fear. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they respond to it. The successful ones are the ones who face their fear, who don't let it control them, who don't let it dictate their choices. They push through their fear and they keep moving forward. This is the essence of creating a new beginning. If you want to change your life, you have to stop allowing fear to be the thing that holds you back. You have to start seeing fear as an opportunity, not obstacle. Fear is your body's way of telling you that you are stepping out of your comfort zone. And that's exactly where growth happens. Fear keeps you in your comfort zone. It tells you that you are safe, that you don't need to change. But the truth is, growth never happens in the comfort zone. If you want to experience something new, something better, something bigger, you have to step out of that comfort zone, and that means facing your fears one step at a time. You might be thinking, but I'm scared, I don't know if I can do this, and that's okay. It's normal to feel fear. It's normal to feel like you're not ready. But here's the reality: you will never feel 100% ready. You will never have all the answers, and you will never know exactly what the future holds, but that's part of the journey. You have to take the first step even when you don't have it all figured out, and as you move forward you'll figure things out along the way. Fear thrives on UNC certainty. It tells you that you can't trust yourself, that you're not good enough, that things will go wrong. But what if you chose to trust yourself instead? What if you believe that no matter what happens you will be okay? What if you understood that the worst case scenario is rarely as bad as your mind makes it out to be? Pushing through your fear means trusting yourself. It means knowing that you have the ability to handle whatever comes your way. It means accepting that there will be challenges, that there will be backs, but understanding that they are part of the process. It's not about being fearless, it's about being brave enough to take action despite the fear. Every time you push through fear you expand your capacity to handle more. You become more adaptable, more resilient, and more confident. You realize that fear doesn't have to control you. You realize that you can take action in the face of fear, and that you are stronger than you think. Let me give you an example. Think about something you're afraid to do right now. Maybe it's starting a new business, changing careers, speaking in public, or even having an important conversation with someone. Now think about what would happen if you let that fear control you. What would happen if you allowed it to stop you from taking action? You would stay exactly where you are. You would remain stuck, stagnant, and frustrated, and that's not the life you want. But what if you pushed through that fear? What if you took that first step even though you were afraid? What would happen then? You would open up a world of possibilities. You would move closer to the life you want, the life you've been dreaming of. And each time you push through that fear you will build momentum. You will feel stronger, more capable, and more confident. Now I understand that fear can feel overwhelming. It can feel like a heavy weight on your chest, making it hard to breathe or think clearly. But what I want you to understand is that fear is temporary. It will pass. The discomfort you feel in the moment is nothing compared to the growth and freedom you will experience once you push through it. The more you push through fear, the less power it will have over you, and when you push through your fear you begin to create a new beginning. You start to see life differently. You begin to understand that you are not defined by your fears, your failures, or your past. You are defined by the choices you make today. You are defined by the actions you take. Even when you're afraid, when you take action despite your fear, you create new opportunities, you create new experiences, you create new relationships, and you create a new version of yourself, a version that is stronger, more resilient, and more capable than ever before. And that's how a new beginning is born. This is the power of pushing through fear. It's not just about facing the fear itself, it's about what happens when you do. It's about the transformation that takes place when you take that step forward, even when everything inside you is telling you to stay where you are. It's about the person you become on the other side of fear. So if you're facing fear right now, I want you to know that you are not alone. We all experience fear. We all feel uncertain at times, but the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is what they do when they feel fear. They don't let it stop They don't let it control them, they push through it and they keep going, and you can do the same, you can push through your fears step by step and create the new beginning you've been waiting for. It won't be easy, there will be challenges. There will be moments of doubt, but remember this: the fear you feel is a sign that you are on the right path. It's a sign that you are moving towards something better, something bigger, something that will change your life. Number 4. Challenge your current mindset to unlock new possibilities. The way you think shapes the life you live. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world, and it's the filter through which you interpret your experiences. If you want to unlock new possibilities in your life, you have to challenge your current mindset. This is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the way we see the world is the only way to see it. We get comfortable with our beliefs, our habits, and our perspectives, and we often believe that if we've been doing things a certain way for a long time, then it's the right way. But here's the truth: your current mindset might be holding you back. It might be keeping you stuck in the same patterns, repeating the same cycles, and limiting the possibilities that are available to you to create the life you want. You need to challenge the way you think. You need to break free from the constraints of your current mindset and open yourself up to new ways of thinking, new perspectives, and new opportunities. This isn't about abandoning everything you know, it's about expanding your mind, pushing the boundaries of what you believe is possible, and being willing to see things differently. Think about this: how many times have you found yourself in a situation where you thought, this is all I can do, this is all I'm capable of, this is the way things have always been, so this is how it will always be? The truth is that's a limiting belief, and it's a mindset that's holding you back. When you only see things in one way, you close yourself off from all the other possibilities that exist. Your mindset is like a filter. It determines how you see the world, how you interpret what happens to you, and how you respond to challenges. If you're constantly thinking in negative or limited terms, you'll find that the world seems smaller, that opportunities feel scarce, and that challenges seem insurmountable. But when you shift your mindset, everything changes. The first step in challenging your current mindset is recognizing that you have the power to change it. Your thoughts are not set in stone, they are flexible, and you can reshape them. You are not a prisoner to the way you've always thought. You have the ability to choose new thoughts, to adopt new beliefs, and to expand your thinking in ways that open up new possibilities. This might feel uncomfortable at first, and that's okay. Change is always uncomfortable, especially when it comes to something as deeply ingrained as your mindset, but discomfort is a sign that you are growing. If you're not feeling a little uncomfortable, it probably means you're not challenging yourself enough. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone, and the only way to get there is by pushing against the limits of what you currently believe. One of the biggest limitations we place on ourselves is the belief that things can't change. We tell ourselves that our circumstances are fixed, that we don't have the resources or the capabilities to do something different. But what if you started asking yourself, what if I could do this? What if I could change my circumstances? What if I could achieve something greater than I ever thought possible? That's the power of shifting your mindset. It opens up a world of possibilities. When you challenge your mindset, you start to see things differently. You start to see opportunities instead of obstacles, solutions instead of problems, and growth instead of stagnation. You begin to recognize that you are not limited by your current situation, and that you can always make choices that lead to a better future. One of the best ways to challenge your mindset is to start questioning your assumptions. What do you believe to be true about yourself, about the world, about your abilities, about your potential? Are these beliefs serving you, or are they limiting you? When you challenge these assumptions, you open up the space for new ideas, new beliefs, and new ways of thinking, and with that comes new possibilities. For example, if you believe that success is only for certain people, that it's only for the lucky or the special, you are limiting yourself. If you believe that your past mistakes define you, that they somehow disqualify you from success, you are limiting yourself. But when you challenge those beliefs and replace them with the idea that success is available to anyone who is willing to work for it, who is willing to learn and grow, you begin to open up a world of possibilities. Your mindset is the foundation for everything in your life. If you believe that your circumstances can improve, that you have the power to change your life, and that you are capable of achieving your dreams, then you are far more likely to take the actions necessary to make that happen if. On the other hand, you believe that nothing will ever change, that you are stuck, or that you're not capable of achieving more, then you will never take the steps necessary to unlock those new possibilities. Challenging your mindset isn't just about thinking more positively, it's about being willing to examine your beliefs and question whether they are truly serving you. It's about being open to new ways of thinking and being willing to step into the unknown. It's about shifting your perspective from a place of limitation to a place of possibility. It's about understanding that you have the power to shape your reality and that your mindset is the key to unlocking that power. Another important aspect of challenging your mindset is recognizing that failure is not the end of the road. In fact, failure is often the greatest teacher. It's a sign that you are pushing yourself, that you are trying something new, and that you are growing. The people who succeed are not the ones who never fail, they are the ones who are willing to fail and try again, who are willing to learn from their mistakes and keep moving forward. When you shift your mindset, you begin to see failure as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. You begin to understand that setbacks are a natural part of the process and that they don't define your worth or your potential. You start to see each failure as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to get better, and that mindset shift opens up a world of possibilities because it removes the fear of failure and replaces it with a sense of empowerment. It's also important to challenge your mindset by expanding your thinking beyond your immediate circumstances. Often we get so caught up in our day-to-day struggles that we forget to look at the bigger picture. We forget to ask ourselves what we truly want, what we truly value, and what we're really capable of. When you challenge your mindset, you begin to look beyond your current situation and think about the future you want to create. You begin to ask yourself, what's possible? What could my life look like if I shifted my thinking and believed in myself? The process of challenging your mindset is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing practice. You have to constantly check in with yourself and ask if your thoughts are serving you. You have to be willing to let go of outdated beliefs that no longer align with who you are becoming, and you have to be willing to embrace new ways of thinking even when they feel uncomfortable or uncertain. Every time you challenge your mindset, you take one step closer to unlocking new possibilities. Every time you push against the limits of what you believe is possible, you open up new doors, and the more you do this, the more you expand your potential and move closer to the life you've always dreamed of. This is the power of mindset. It's the key to unlocking new possibilities, to seeing the world in a different way, and to creating a life that is truly fulfilling. When you challenge your current mindset, you are not only changing the way you think, you are changing the way you live. So take a moment and ask yourself, what beliefs are holding me back? What limiting thoughts am I holding on to? What new possibilities could open up for me if I chose to challenge my mindset? The answers to these questions are the key to unlocking the future you've been waiting for. Remember, your mindset is the foundation of everything in your life. Challenge it and you unlock new possibilities. Shift your thinking and you shift your reality. The world is full of opportunities and your mindset is the key to accessing them. So go ahead. Challenge your current mindset and watch as new possibilities unfold before you. Number 5. Recognize your potential and use it to transform yourself. The potential within you is not a distant dream, nor is it a future possibility. It is something that exists in you right now, waiting to be discovered and unleashed. But to recognize your potential, you first need to believe in it. You need to understand that you are capable of more than you realize. The truth is, most people live their lives only scratching the surface of their potential, never fully tapping into what they are truly capable of. This isn't because they lack the ability, it's because they fail to recognize the power they already possess. Recognizing your potential is the first step in transforming yourself. You see, potential is not something that you have to acquire, it's already there, it's woven into the fabric of who you are. The key to unlocking it is to stop doubting yourself, to stop believing the lies that tell you that you're not good enough or that you can't achieve something greater. Once you begin to truly believe in your potential, you unlock the door to transformation. Let me tell you, the potential within you is vast, it's limitless. You are capable of achieving things that you might not even believe are possible for you right now. But the first thing you need to do is stop Seeing yourself as limited. Your past does not define your potential. The mistakes you've made, the struggles you've faced, the challenges that have come your way, they do not have the power to limit what you can achieve. Your potential exists beyond all of that. It exists beyond your circumstances and beyond the stories you've told yourself about what you can and can't do. Think about it for a moment. When you were a child, you didn't doubt your potential. You didn't worry about whether or not you could succeed. You just did. You learned to walk, talk and explore without a second thought. But over time we begin to develop beliefs and assumptions about ourselves. We start to believe that certain things are beyond us, that we can't change or that we can't achieve our dreams, and the truth is most of those beliefs are simply not true. They're limitations that we've placed on ourselves, often because of fear or doubt. The moment you recognize that you have unlimited potential is the moment your life begins to transform. You have to realize that you are not defined by your past failures, your current situation, or what others have told you. You are defined by your actions, by your willingness to step into your power and use the gifts you've been given. Every single person has a unique set of talents and abilities that, when recognized and harnessed, can lead to extraordinary results. But the first step is to see yourself as someone with potential, someone who can create change, who can improve, and who can achieve greatness. But simply recognizing your potential isn't enough. You have to use it. Potential is not something that you can just sit on and expect it to work for you. You have to take action. You have to make the decision to show up every day, to put in the effort and to work toward the transformation you desire. Too many people have potential but fail to take the necessary steps to bring it to life. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances, or the perfect opportunity. But the reality is that there will never be a perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. The key to transformation is using your potential right where you are, with what you have and with the resources available to you. At this moment, when you recognize your potential and begin to use it, something incredible happens. You start to see progress. You start to experience growth. Every effort you put in, every action you take moves you one step closer to your transformation. The more you use your potential, the more you build momentum, and that momentum leads to more opportunities, more success, and more personal growth. But here's the thing. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's not about instant results or quick fixes. It's about consistent effort, steady growth, and the willingness to face challenges. Heeding the road to transformation is filled with obstacles, but each one is an opportunity to tap into more of your potential. Every challenge you face helps you grow stronger and more resilient, and as you continue to recognize and use your potential, you begin to see that you are capable of overcoming anything that comes your way. One of the most important things to remember as you embark on your journey of transformation is that you are not alone. Everyone around you has potential too, and when you recognize your potential, you inspire others to do the same. When you start to transform your life, you become a beacon for others to follow. Your success, your growth, and your willingness to take action can inspire others to step into their own potential and begin their own journey of transformation. Now, it's important to understand that recognizing your potential doesn't mean that everything will come easy. It doesn't mean that you won't face difficulties or setbacks. In fact, it's the very nature of growth that makes challenges inevitable. But that doesn't mean you should shy away from them. It means you should lean into them. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to tap into more of your potential. It's a chance to prove to yourself just how capable you really are. In order to fully unlock and use your potential, you need to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. Growth doesn't happen when you stay in the same place. It happens when you challenge yourself, when you push beyond what feels safe, and when you take risks that make you uncomfortable. Your potential is not meant to stay hidden. It's meant to be explored, nurtured, and brought to life. And in order to do that, you need to be willing to embrace the discomfort that comes with growth. Another important factor in transforming yourself is setting clear, purposeful goals. When you have a vision for where you want to go, you can align your actions with that vision. Your potential is best used when it is directed toward a specific goal or purpose. Without clear goals, your potential may remain dormant, waiting for a spark to ignite it. But once you have a clear vision, you can start taking small, purposeful actions every day that will move you closer to that goal. Your potential will work for you when you put it to work in the right direction. As you use your potential, it's important to remember that progress is not always Linear, you will have good days and bad days. There will be times when things don't go according to plan, but the key is to keep going. Use every setback as a lesson, use every failure as a stepping stone. The most successful people are not the ones who avoid failure, they are the ones who embrace it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. You have the power to transform yourself, it's already inside of you, but in order to unlock your full potential you have to believe in yourself, you have to stop doubting your abilities and start trusting in your capacity to change, to grow, and to achieve. When you recognize your potential and use it, you step into a new reality, you step into a life where anything is possible. Number 6. Commit to daily actions that move you forward. Committing to daily actions is where the magic happens. It's the difference between dreaming and doing, between wishing for a better life and creating one in a world full of distractions, quick fixes, and immediate gratification. It's easy to lose sight of the power that lies in consistency. The secret to true lasting transformation is in the daily actions you take every day. Is an opportunity to move closer to your goals, to shape the person you want to become, and to build the life you desire. Many people think that big changes happen overnight, but that's simply not true. The key to success lies in the small everyday actions that accumulate over time. It's not about doing something monumental once in a while, it's about doing something that matters every single day. Your daily actions, no matter how small they seem, are what move you forward. They are what shape your future. The life you have today is the result of the choices you made yesterday, and the life you'll have tomorrow will be shaped by what you do today. When you commit to daily actions, you are setting yourself up for success in the long term. Think of it like building a house. If you try to build it all at once, it will crumble, but if you lay down one brick at a time, day after day, eventually you'll have something solid, something strong, something that stands the test of time. The same principle applies to your personal growth. Every small action you take is a brick in the foundation of your success, but committing to daily actions isn't always easy. Life can get busy, distractions can pull you away, and motivation can fade, but this is where the power of commitment comes in. You don't have to feel motivated every day to take action. Motivation comes and goes, but commitment is something that you can rely on. When you commit to doing something every day, regardless of how you feel, you are creating momentum, and momentum is powerful. Once you start moving, it becomes easier to keep moving. Your brain starts to get used to the routine and it becomes part of who you are. The first step in committing to daily actions is identifying what actions will move you forward. What are the things you need to do each day to get closer to your goals? These actions should be aligned with your vision for the future. They should be things that directly contribute to your growth, your success, and your happiness. Whether it's reading a chapter of a book, exercising for 30 minutes, or writing down your thoughts, it's the small actions repeated daily that add up over time. Once you've identified your daily actions, the next step is to make them non-negotiable. This means making a decision that no matter what, you will follow through on these actions. It's about creating habits that become second nature. You'll find that once you make something non-negotiable, it's no longer a question of will I do it today, but rather how can I fit this into my day. The commitment to daily action becomes so ingrained that it's no longer optional, it becomes a part of who you are. Like brushing your teeth or having breakfast, one of the biggest obstacles to committing to daily actions is the temptation to procrastinate. It's easy to put things off until tomorrow, to think that you can get started later or that you'll be more motivated at another time, but the truth is tomorrow never comes. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes to start. Each day you put it off is a day you don't move forward. So instead of waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions, just start now. Commit to taking action today. Even if it's just a small step, you'll be surprised at how quickly momentum builds when you start small. Another key to committing to daily actions is to hold yourself accountable. You don't need anyone else to push you or motivate you. You are the one responsible for your actions, but having a system in place to track your progress can help keep you on track. Whether it's writing in a journal, checking off tasks on a to-do list, or sharing your goals with someone else, accountability helps reinforce your commitment. It makes you less likely to skip a day or let your goals fall by the wayside. But remember, progress is not always linear. There will be days when you fall short, when you don't feel like doing anything, when life throws Obstacles in your way, and that's okay. The important thing is not perfection but consistency. When you miss a day, don't beat yourself up, just pick up where you left off and keep moving forward. The key is not letting one setback derail your progress. Each day is a new opportunity to get back on track. Consistency is the real secret to success. It's not about grand sweeping changes, it's about the little things you do every day, the actions you take consistently that make the biggest impact. Every time you take action, you reinforce your commitment to your goals. Every time you do something that moves you forward, no matter how small, you are building the momentum that will carry you to success. This isn't just about achieving goals, it's about who you become in the process. When you commit to daily actions, you start to shape your identity. You become the person who shows up every day, who works hard, who doesn't quit. Your habits become your identity. And as you build new habits, you build a new version of yourself. You become someone who is disciplined, focused, and driven. You become someone who doesn't wait for motivation to strike. You create it by taking action every single day. One of the most powerful aspects of committing to daily actions is that it forces you to focus on the present. So often we get caught up in the future and the someday when we will finally achieve our goals, but the truth is the future is built on the actions you take today. Your success doesn't happen in the future, it happens in the present. When you focus on what you can do right now, you begin to see that you have everything you need to move forward. Daily actions also help you build resilience. Every time you face a challenge and continue to take action, you are strengthening your ability to overcome obstacles. It's not about avoiding difficulties, it's about pushing through them. The more you commit to taking action, the more confident you become in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. You realize that challenges are simply opportunities for growth. It's also important to celebrate your wins, no matter how small they may seem. Every day that you commit to taking action is a win. Every day that you show up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it, is a success. Celebrate your consistency, because that's what will carry you through to your bigger goals. These small wins add up, and over time they create the foundation for lasting change. The commitment to daily actions isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. It's about playing the long game, understanding that every small step you take today is bringing you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. It's about trusting the process and knowing that no matter how small your actions seem, they are leading you toward your ultimate goal. Number 7, overcome your excuses and take bold steps forward. We all have excuses. We use them to explain why we haven't achieved our goals, why we haven't taken action, why we haven't stepped into the life we dream of. But what if I told you that those excuses are the very thing holding you back from the future you desire? What if I told you that your excuses are the barriers keeping you from becoming the person you were meant to be? The truth is, the excuses we make often feel valid in the moment, but they are the anchors that hold us down. Every excuse we make is a story we tell ourselves to avoid the discomfort of change. Change isn't easy, and stepping outside our comfort zones feels risky, so we create excuses, small justifications that allow us to stay where we are, even though we know deep down we are capable of so much more. But these excuses are nothing more than distractions, and they don't serve you. They only keep you stuck in a cycle of inaction, frustration, and missed opportunity. You've heard them before. I don't have time, I'm not good enough, I'm too old, I don't have the resources. These excuses might feel real, but they're nothing more than obstacles your mind places in front of you to keep you safe. Safe from failure, from rejection, from the unknown. But here's the hard truth. Nothing worth achieving comes from staying comfortable. Nothing great comes from avoiding challenge. Alice, you have to push through those excuses. You have to face the fear that stands in your way and take bold steps forward. Imagine what could happen if you stopped making excuses. Imagine what you could accomplish if you didn't allow your own doubts and fears to control your actions. Think about the goals you've set for yourself, the dreams you've always had. Now think about the times you've put them off, telling yourself it's not the right time, or that you need more experience, or that you need to wait until you're ready. The truth is, you'll never be ready. You'll never have all the answers, all the resources, or all the time you think you need. The only thing you need is the courage to take the first step. It's time to break free from your excuses. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment, because that moment will never come. The right time is now. The person you need to become is Here in this moment, and the only thing stopping you from stepping into that person is the excuses you keep making. Every day you wait, every day you tell yourself you're not ready, you're losing time, you're losing precious moments that could be used to build the life you want, but it's not too late. The power to change is always within you. The key is to stop giving yourself permission to make excuses. Let's take a closer look at some of the most common excuses that hold people back. I don't have enough time. This is one of the most common excuses people make. They tell themselves they're too busy with work, family, or other commitments, but the truth is we all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's not about having more time, it's about how you choose to use the time you have. If something is truly important to you, you will find a way to make time for it. It's about prioritizing what matters and taking small, consistent actions each day. I'm not good enough. This is a lie that many people tell themselves they believe. They don't have the skills, knowledge, or experience needed to succeed, but here's the thing: nobody is born knowing everything. Success isn't about being perfect, it's about being willing to learn and grow. Everyone starts somewhere. The most successful people didn't get there by being good enough from the beginning, they got there by taking action, learning from mistakes, and persevering. You don't need to be perfect to start, you just need to start. I don't have the resources. How often do we tell ourselves that we don't have enough money, equipment, or support to pursue our goals? The reality is you don't need all the resources you think you need. There are countless stories of people who started with very little and achieved great things. The resources will come as you move forward, and often the act of taking bold steps will create the opportunities you need. Start where you are with what you have and trust that the rest will follow. I'm too old or too young. Age is not a barrier to success. In fact, it's often used as an excuse to avoid stepping out of your comfort zone. Whether you're young and inexperienced or older and feeling like time is running out, the truth is that age has nothing to do with your ability to make a change. Many people have started their most successful ventures later in life, and many younger people have achieved incredible things at a young age. Age is just a number, it's your mindset that matters. I'm afraid of failing. Fear of failure is one of the most powerful excuses that holds people back. But failure isn't the end of the road, it's simply a lesson. Every time you fail, you learn something new. Every mistake you make is an opportunity to grow and improve. Fear of failure is natural, but it should never stop you from moving forward. In fact, failure is often the best teacher you can have. The only true failure is never trying at all. Now it's time to take a hard look at your excuses. What are the ones you've been telling yourself? What are the reasons you've been giving for not moving forward, for not taking action, for not stepping into your power? It's time to get honest with yourself. It's time to acknowledge the excuses and then decide that you are no longer going to let them control you. Here's what you need to do: take bold steps forward. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need to know exactly how everything will unfold. What matters is that you take the first step. Just start. It doesn't matter if it's messy or imperfect. What matters is that you begin. You build momentum through action. Every step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to where you want to be, and the more you act, the more you will learn, the more you will grow, the more you will transform. It's time to stop waiting for the right time. The right time is now. The only way to overcome your excuses is to take action. When you take that first bold step, you break the cycle of inaction. You prove to yourself that you are capable of more than your excuses would have you believe, and once you start taking action, you'll find that the excuses that once held you back lose their power over you. You'll start to see progress. You'll start to see results, and that will fuel your momentum. Bold steps forward mean facing your fears and moving forward anyway. They mean choosing to believe in yourself and your potential even when doubt creeps in. Bold steps are about pushing through the discomfort and doing it anyway. It's about making the decision to show up for yourself even when the world tries to tell you it's too hard, too risky, or too late. You are stronger than your excuses. You are more capable than you think, and the world is waiting for you to step up and show what you're made of. Number 8. Build the courage to make tough decisions today. Making decisions is one of the hardest parts of life, and there's no getting around it. We are constantly faced with choices, some big, some small, but all of them have an impact on our journey. The trouble is, making tough decisions can be downright terrifying. We fear the consequences, the uncertainty, the possibility of making the wrong choice, and ultimately we get Stuck in a cycle of indecision. But here's the truth: staying stuck in indecision is a decision in itself, and it's one that leaves us stagnant, unable to move forward. At some point you have to ask yourself, is the fear of making a decision worse than the regret of not making one? You see, we are not meant to live in the shadows of doubt or hesitation. We are meant to take action, to trust ourselves, and to move boldly. Even when we don't have all the answers, the longer you wait to make a tough decision, the more power you give to that fear, and the longer that fear controls you, the more difficult it becomes to take any action at all. When you're faced with a tough decision, you may feel like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Every option has its pros and cons, and the consequences of the wrong decision feel overwhelming. But think about this for a moment: the decision to not make a decision is also a choice. It's a choice to stay exactly where you are, in the same place with the same problems, with the same frustrations. That's no way to live. You weren't made to sit on the sidelines. You were made to take action, to step up, and to make bold choices that align with your values, your goals, and your vision for the future. Courage is the key here. Courage to make those tough decisions, to face the unknown, and to move forward even when it's scary. But let's be clear, courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. Courage is not about being fearless, it's about moving forward even when you are afraid. It's about taking action in spite of the fear, in spite of the uncertainty, and in spite of the voices in your head telling it's too risky. Courage is about trusting yourself, your instincts, and your ability to navigate whatever comes next. The first step in building that courage is acknowledging the fear. You can't ignore it, and you can't pretend it's not there. Fear is a natural human emotion, and it's a signal that something important is at stake. The problem comes when we allow that fear to paralyze us. We let it dictate our choices, telling us what we can and can't do, what's safe and what's dangerous. But the truth is, fear doesn't have the power to control us unless we let it. Fear is just a feeling, and feelings don't control our actions unless we allow them to. So the first thing you need to do when facing a tough decision is to acknowledge your fear, but don't let it drive the bus. You need to take the wheel. You need to remind yourself that fear is not an indication that you shouldn't act. It's just a signal that you're about to make a move that matters. It's a sign that you're about to step outside of your comfort zone, and that's where growth happens. Growth doesn't happen when we play it safe. It happens when we take risks, when we make bold decisions, when we push ourselves beyond our limits. Next, you need to clarify your values. What matters most to you? What is the purpose behind your decision? When you're faced with a tough choice, it's easy to get lost in the options and the potential outcomes. But if you keep your values at the forefront of your mind, you'll have a clearer sense of direction. Your values are your compass. They will guide you through the uncertainty and help you make decisions that align with who you are and where you want to go. Think about what you truly want in life. What are the things that matter most to you? Your health, your family, your career, your personal growth. These are the things that should inform your decisions. If your decisions are rooted in your values, they will lead you to the life you want to create. It may not always be easy, but it will be worth it. Another key to making tough decisions is recognizing that no decision is ever truly perfect. There will always be risks. There will always be unknowns, and there will always be consequences, some of which may be uncomfortable, but that's part of the process. In fact, some of the best decisions you'll ever make will come with uncertainty. They'll come with discomfort, and they'll come with a certain level of risk, but those are also the decisions that will push you to grow, to learn, and to evolve into the person you're meant to be. You cannot let the fear of making the wrong decision keep you from making a decision at all. In fact, making no decision is often the worst decision of all. Indecision leaves you in limbo. It holds you in place, trapped by the fear of what could go wrong. But even in the worst case scenario, making a decision and learning from it is better than doing nothing. Every decision, good or bad, teaches you something valuable. Every decision brings you closer to clarity. The key is to make the decision, then learn from the outcome. If it's not the right choice, adjust and move forward. That's how you grow. That's how you move forward. And here's the most important thing to remember: you are not alone in facing tough decisions. Everyone, no matter how successful they are, has faced moments of doubt, moments of fear, moments when they've had to make tough choices. The difference between those who move forward and those who stay stuck is their ability to take action despite the fear. They understand that the fear will never go away completely. What they've Learned is that the fear doesn't have to stop them if you want to build the courage to make tough decisions you have. To start by accepting that it's okay to be afraid, it's okay to feel uncertain. But don't let those feelings stop you from moving forward, don't let them stop you from becoming the person you know you can be. You have the strength, the wisdom and the ability to make tough decisions. You've done it before and you'll do it again. The key is to trust yourself, trust that you are capable of making the right choices, trust that you can navigate through any challenge that comes your way, trust that no matter the outcome you will learn, grow and come out stronger on the other side. Courage isn't about making decisions without fear, it's about making decisions in spite of the fear. So what tough decision do you need to make today? What's holding you back? What's the one step you can take right now to move forward? Don't wait for the perfect moment because it doesn't exist. The perfect moment is the one you create by taking action. The more decisions you make, the stronger your courage will become. The more you step into uncertainty, the more you will grow. It's time to make that decision. It's time to step up. The future you're waiting for is waiting for you to act. It's waiting for you to make the tough choices that will shape your life. Don't wait any longer. The time is now. Number 9. Break free from old habits and create new routines. Breaking free from old habits and creating new routines is a journey of transformation. It's not an easy process, but it's a necessary one if you want to move forward, grow and achieve more in life. Old habits, even the ones that aren't serving us, often feel comfortable. They're familiar and we become attached to them over time, whether they're healthy or not. But here's the thing, comfort doesn't always equal progress. Comfort can be a trap. It can keep you stuck in a cycle, doing the same things over and over, expecting different results, and when that happens nothing changes. You're not moving forward, you're not growing, you're just going through the motions. Now it's important to acknowledge that old habits don't disappear overnight. They're ingrained in our daily lives and breaking them takes time and effort. But the key to breaking free from old habits is to realize that you have the power to change. You are not bound by your past waiting to be learned, a key piece of the puzzle that will eventually lead to your success. So what can you do right now to start embracing failure in a productive way? First, accept that failure is inevitable. It's part of life, it's part of the process. Don't try to avoid it. Don't fear it, instead accept it as a natural part of your growth. Understand that you will face obstacles, make mistakes and experience setbacks, but rather than seeing those things as barriers, see them as opportunities. Every failure is a chance to learn something new. It's a chance to reevaluate your approach and come back stronger. Next, take responsibility for your mistakes. Don't blame others or make excuses. Accept the fact that you are in control of your own actions and that the failure is a result of something you did or didn't do. This is not about guilt, this is about empowerment. When you take responsibility, you regain control over your situation. You can then choose how to respond. Do you let failure defeat you? Or do you rise up and learn from it? The choice is yours. Finally, take action. Don't let failure hold you back from moving forward. After you've learned from your mistakes, get back to work, try again. Tweak your strategy, improve your skills and keep moving forward. Success is not about never failing, it's about how you respond to failure. It's about your ability to bounce back, learn from your mistakes and keep going. The more you embrace failure and use it to fuel your growth, the closer you get to achieving your goals. Remember, success is not a straight path, it's full of twists, turns, setbacks and bumps along the way. But if you embrace failure as part of that journey, you will find that it becomes easier to keep going even when the road gets tough. When you view failure as a learning opportunity, you stop seeing it as something to fear and start seeing it as a tool for your personal growth. The more you learn from your failures, the more you will grow and the closer you will get to achieving your dreams. Number 14. Prioritize your well-being and make it your foundation. Your well-being is the foundation upon which everything else is built. It affects your physical, emotional and mental state, influencing how you approach life and the challenges you face. Yet so many people neglect it, thinking they can push through work harder or just deal with their stress and fatigue. But let me tell you this, without a strong foundation of well-being, everything else in your life will eventually crumble. Success, relationships, personal growth, they all rely on you taking care of yourself first. If you don't prioritize your health and well-being, nothing else will Thrive as it should. The truth is your body and mind are the vehicles that carry you through this journey of life, and if they're not in good shape you're going to have a much harder time reaching your goals and fulfilling your potential. Now let's be real, life today is full of distractions, demands, and constant pressures. We're constantly running on empty, juggling multiple responsibilities and trying to be everything to everyone, but in the process we often neglect the most important person in the equation. Ourselves. We tell ourselves that we'll take care of ourselves later, that we'll rest when we've achieved our goals, that we'll get healthy once everything else is sorted, but that mentality is flawed, because here's the truth: you can't be your best version if you're not prioritizing your health and well-being right now. It's time to shift that mindset. Your well-being has to come first. It's not selfish, it's necessary. You can't pour from an empty cup, and if you continue to ignore your own needs you're eventually going to burn out. The energy, focus and resilience you need to tackle life's challenges come from a solid foundation of physical, mental and emotional well-being. When you feel good, you perform better. When you take care of your health, your mind is clearer, your body is stronger and your spirit is more resilient. It's all interconnected. If you're neglecting one aspect of your well-being you're affecting the others. And when that happens your progress stagnates. To build a strong foundation you need to start by acknowledging the importance of your health. It's easy to push it aside when you're focused on achieving goals, climbing the ladder or meeting everyone else's needs, but here's the thing: if you don't take care of yourself you won't have the energy or capacity to achieve anything in the long term. Your body is not a machine. You can't just run it into the ground and expect it to keep going. You need to nurture it, fuel it and give it the rest it deserves. Start by paying attention to the basics. Are you getting enough sleep? Sleep is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's when your body repairs itself, when your mind processes everything you've experienced, and when you recharge your energy. If you're not prioritizing sleep you're setting yourself up for exhaustion and burnout. I know it's tempting to push through on little sleep, but that's not sustainable. You'll accomplish far more in the long run if you take care of your body and allow it the rest it needs. Next, let's talk about nutrition. Fueling your body with the right foods is crucial. You wouldn't put low-quality fuel in a high-performance car, so why would you put low-quality food in your body? What you eat directly impacts how you feel, how much energy you have and how clearly you can think. Eating a balanced diet of whole foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats is essential for your physical and mental well-being. It's not about following the latest fat diet or counting calories. It's about nourishing your body with the right nutrients so you can perform at your best. Exercise is another key component. Our bodies are designed to move. When we don't exercise, we stagnate, we lose energy, our mood dips and our physical health declines. But when you make exercise a priority you're doing more than just improving your fitness, you're boosting your mood, increasing your energy levels and improving your overall mental health. Exercise is a powerful tool for reducing stress, combating anxiety and improving your focus and concentration. It doesn't have to be intense or complicated. Even a daily walk, a quick workout or some yoga can do wonders for your body and mind. Mental and emotional well-being are just as important as physical health. If you're not taking care of your mind, it doesn't matter how well your body is functioning. Stress, anxiety, and negative emotions can take a toll on your physical health, making it harder to stay focused, energized, and motivated. That's why it's so important to create space for your mental and emotional health. Practice mindfulness, meditation, or deep breathing exercises to calm your mind. Take time to check in with yourself, to reflect on your thoughts and emotions and to process what's going on in your life. And don't forget the importance of emotional self-care. It's okay to feel frustrated, sad, or overwhelmed. Emotions are a natural part of being human, but they don't have to control you. Learn to manage your emotions and help healthy ways, whether that's through journaling, talking to a friend, or seeking professional support when needed. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who support your growth, and who encourage you to prioritize your well-being. Another aspect of well-being that many people overlook is the power of boundaries. It's easy to get caught up in the demands of others and forget about your own needs, but setting healthy boundaries is essential for maintaining your well-being. You have to know when to say no, when to step back, and when to protect Your energy saying no doesn't make you selfish, it makes you responsible for your own health and happiness. When you set boundaries, you are ensuring that you don't stretch yourself too thin and that you have the time and energy to invest in what matters most. Now I want to emphasize this: prioritizing your well-being is not a one-time thing, it's a continuous process. It's about making conscious decisions every single day to put yourself first. It's about creating habits that support your health not just today but for the long term. When you prioritize your well-being, you're setting yourself up for long-term success. You're ensuring that you have the energy, focus, and resilience to handle whatever life throws your way. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you need to be busy all the time. That success is about working hard and constantly hustling, but that mindset is flawed. True success comes from balance. It comes calm from understanding that your well-being is the foundation of everything. When you take care of yourself, you perform at a higher level, you think more clearly, and you approach challenges with a calm and focused mind. You've got one life, one body, one mind. Treat them with the care and respect they deserve. Prioritize your well-being and everything else will fall into place. When you are physically, mentally, and emotionally strong, you become unstoppable. So make it your mission to take care of yourself, not just for today but for the rest of your life, because when you prioritize your well-being, you build a solid foundation for success, happiness, and fulfillment. Your health is your wealth. Without it, everything else is meaningless. Take care of yourself and everything else will thrive. Number 15. Identify your strengths and use them to propel forward. Too often we get caught up in our weaknesses and what we feel we lack. We focus on the areas where we struggle, the things we wish we were better at, and it becomes easy to overlook the strengths we already possess. But here's the truth: your strengths are the key to moving forward. They are the tools you already have within you, the resources that, when identified and leveraged, can propel you to success. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to fix everything that feels broken or challenging. Instead, what you need to do is recognize what you are naturally good at and use those strengths to your advantage. Everyone has strengths. They may be different for each person. Some people are great at communication, others are problem solvers. Some have an incredible work ethic, while others can motivate and inspire others effortlessly. The key is not just knowing what your strengths are, but knowing how to use them effectively. We all have natural gifts and talents, and the challenge is to identify those strengths, nurture them, and use them strategically to build the life we want. It begins with self-awareness. How well do you know yourself? Do you truly understand what you excel at? Do you recognize the skills, abilities, and talents you bring to the table? It's easy to dismiss your own strengths because they come so naturally to you. You may think, this is just something I do, without even thinking about it. But the truth is, what comes easy to you might not be so easy for someone else. Your strengths are valuable, and it's time to recognize that. Take a moment to reflect on what you've accomplished so far. Think about times when you felt proud of yourself, when you were in the zone, when everything seemed to flow effortlessly. What were you doing in those moments? What came naturally to you? Those are the things that represent your strengths. It could be your ability to connect with others, your knack for solving complex problems, your creativity, or your drive to get things done. Whatever it is, it's time to identify those strengths and see how you can use them to propel you forward. Once you've identified your strengths, the next step is to nurture them. Just like a muscle, a strength needs to be exercised and developed. If you're great at communicating, for example, find ways to improve and expand that skill. Maybe you could start speaking at events, creating videos, or writing. If problem solving is your strength, take on more challenges that require you to think critically and come up with solutions. The more you practice and use your strengths, the more you develop them, and the more confidence you build in your ability to succeed. But it's not enough to just recognize and nurture your strengths. You must learn to apply them strategically. We live in a world that rewards results, and the best way to achieve those results is by using your strengths in a focused and purposeful way. Think about your goals. What is it that you want to achieve? How can your strengths help you get there? Maybe you want to build a business, or become a leader in your field, or create a positive impact on your community. Whatever your goal is, ask yourself how your strengths can help you move forward. For example, if you're a great communicator, you can use that skill to network, build relationships, and Influence others. If you have a knack for organization, you can use that strength to build systems and processes that make your work more efficient. If you're a creative thinker, you can come up with new ideas and solutions that push boundaries. The key is to use your strengths in alignment with your goals so that every action you take is a step toward success. Sometimes people get distracted by what others are doing. It's easy to compare yourself to someone else, especially in today's social media-driven world, but here's the thing: just because someone else is successful in a certain area doesn't mean you need to follow their exact path. You have your own unique strengths, and they are what will set you apart. Stop trying to fit into someone else's mold and start focusing on your own talents. When you identify your strengths and use them to propel yourself forward, you create a path that's uniquely yours. It might not look like anyone else's, but that's okay. It's your path, and it's the one that will bring you the most fulfillment. Another powerful way to use your strengths is by helping others. Sometimes we get so focused on our own goals that we forget about the impact we can have on those around us. But here's a secret: when you use your strengths to help others, you actually grow in the process. Whether you're teaching someone else your skills, offering advice, or helping someone solve a problem, sharing your strengths creates a ripple effect that can lead to even more opportunities for growth. It not only strengthens your relationships, but it also deepens your understanding of your own abilities. Recognizing and using your strengths also means recognizing when you need help with your weaknesses. No one is perfect, and it's okay to acknowledge areas where you could improve. In fact, being self-aware enough to ask for help is actually a strength in itself. If you're not great with numbers, for example, but your strength lies in creativity, then don't be afraid to surround yourself with people who can fill in the gaps. Use your strengths to build a strong support system that will help you navigate areas where you may not be as skilled. Don't be afraid to push past your comfort zone. Sometimes our strengths can feel comfortable and we rely on them without ever stretching ourselves to try new things, but growth happens when we challenge ourselves to step outside of what's familiar. Use your strengths as a launching pad and then push yourself to see how far you can go with them. The more you push past your comfort zone, the more your strengths will evolve and expand, and the more potential you'll unlock within yourself. When you focus on your strengths, you stop wasting energy trying to fix everything that feels wrong or insufficient. Instead, you put your energy into doing what you do best, and that creates momentum. Momentum is powerful. It propels you forward, keeps you going even when times get tough, and helps you stay focused on what truly matters. And you align your actions with your strengths, everything becomes easier. You'll begin to notice that the obstacles you once saw as insurmountable aren't nearly as difficult when you approach them with confidence in your strengths. The final step is to share your success. Don't keep your strengths to yourself. Let the world see what you're capable of. Share your knowledge, share your achievements, and use your strengths to inspire others to do the same. Your strengths are a gift not just for you but for the world around you. When you use them with intention, you can make a powerful impact not just in your own life but in the lives of others as well. Number 16. Stay disciplined and consistent in your journey toward change. To truly transform your life and create lasting change, discipline and consistency are the foundations on which everything else must rest. Without them, even the most brilliant ideas and the best intentions will remain just that, ideas and intentions, not realities. Discipline is the ability to stay focused on what matters even when distractions arise. Consistency is the act of showing up day after day, no matter how you feel or what obstacles stand in your way. These two principles, when combined, create the momentum you need to make real and meaningful progress toward your goals. Let's start with discipline. Discipline is often misunderstood. It's not about rigid control or punishing yourself when you slip up. It's about having the strength and resolve to make the right choices even when those choices are difficult. It's about being able to say no to things that don't align with your goals and saying yes to the actions that do. Discipline is the muscle that helps you push through moments of weakness, uncertainty, and fatigue. It's about committing to your journey even when you don't feel like it. It's about showing up when no one is watching and doing what you said you would do even when it's uncomfortable. When you think about discipline, think about the bigger picture. It's easy to get caught up in The daily grind to look at the immediate challenges in front of you and feel overwhelmed, but discipline helps you zoom out and see the long-term rewards of staying focused and committed. It's not about making one perfect decision today, it's about making consistent decisions day in and day out that align with your vision of the future. Take a moment and reflect on the areas where you may lack discipline. Are there habits or behaviors that hold you back from reaching your potential? Do you find yourself easily distracted or giving in? Temptation. The first step to building discipline is awareness. If you're struggling with staying on track, it's important to identify the moments or situations where your discipline falters. Maybe you've set goals for yourself but find yourself procrastinating or making excuses. Maybe you want to develop new habits but the pressure of your busy schedule makes it hard to stay consistent. Awareness is the first step to change. And once you recognize the patterns that have kept you stuck, you can take action to shift them. The next step is developing the right mindset. Discipline is a choice, and that choice is rooted in your values. It's about aligning your actions with what you truly want in life. Think about the goals you've set for yourself. Why do they matter? What is the deeper purpose behind them? When you tap into your deeper motivation, the commitment to your journey becomes much easier. When the reasons behind your goals are clear and meaningful, staying disciplined becomes less of a struggle. It's no longer about forcing yourself to do something you don't want to do. It's about aligning your actions with the things that matter most to you. Once you have the right mindset, the next step is creating an environment that supports your discipline. The people you surround yourself with, the spaces you spend time in, and the activities you engage in all play a role in your ability to stay disciplined. If you want to be disciplined in your health, for example, surround yourself with people who prioritize health. Create a routine that makes healthy choices easy and eliminate distractions or temptations that could derail you. Your environment should support the goals you're working toward, not work against them. Building discipline also requires setting clear boundaries. This could mean setting aside time each day for focused work, saying no to distractions, or creating systems that hold you accountable. When you create structure in your life, you make it easier to stick to your goals. Without structure, it's easy to get lost in the chaos of daily life. When you're disciplined, you don't just react to whatever comes your way, you proactively plan your day and your actions to ensure they align with your values and goals. Next, let's talk about consistency. Consistency is the key to turning your discipline into lasting results. It's one thing to be disciplined for a short period of time, but consistency is what allows you to see progress over the long term. Consistency is what helps you develop habits, build momentum, and reach your goals. It's what allows you to keep going even when you don't see immediate results. The truth is, success is rarely instant. It's the product of repeated effort, day after day, week after week, year after year. One of the most important things to remember about consistency is that it's not about perfection. It's not about doing everything perfectly every day. It's about showing up, doing your best, and learning from your mistakes. There will be days when you don't feel like it, when life gets in the way, or when things don't go as planned, but consistency is about getting back on track as soon as possible, not giving up after a setback. Start by setting small, achievable goals. When you set a goal, break it down into smaller, manageable steps instead of trying to overhaul your entire life at once. Focus on making one small improvement each day. If you want to become more disciplined with your fitness, for example, commit to working out for 20 minutes a day. It's a small commitment, but it's a consistent one. Over time, those 20-minute workouts will become a habit, and you'll see the progress you've been working for. Another powerful strategy is to track your progress. This could mean keeping a journal, using an app, or simply checking in with yourself each week to assess where you're at. Tracking your progress helps you stay accountable to your goals, and it allows you to celebrate the small wins along the way. Even if the progress feels slow, knowing that you're moving forward can be incredibly motivating. Remember that consistency doesn't mean doing the same thing in the same way every single day. Life happens, and there will be days when you need to adjust, but as long as you're consistent in your effort to keep moving toward your goal, you'll continue to make progress. Consistency is about making the effort, not being perfect. It's about showing up every day and doing your best, even if your best looks different from day to day as you work toward your goals. Remember, That discipline and consistency are not just about pushing harder, they are about building a foundation for long-term success. They're about creating habits that support your vision, building resilience that allows you to bounce back from setbacks and fostering the inner strength to keep moving forward. No matter the obstacles in your way, when you embrace these principles in your daily life, you'll begin to see changes. Not just in your results but in the person you are becoming. Finally, as you move forward, make sure you give yourself grace. The journey toward change is rarely linear. There will be ups and downs, successes and failures, but every step, whether it feels like progress or not, is a part of your growth. Stay disciplined in your actions, stay consistent in your efforts, and trust that with time the results will come. Number 17. Turn your setbacks into opportunities for a fresh start. Life is full of setbacks, failures and challenges. They are inevitable parts of the human experience, and sometimes they hit harder than expected. But what if I told you that every setback you face holds the potential for a new beginning? What if every failure could be turned into an opportunity to rebuild, grow and push yourself forward? The key to transforming your setbacks into opportunities is a shift in perspective. It's about seeing failure not as the end but as a crucial part of your journey. It's about understanding that each setback doesn't define you, it refines you. Let's start by acknowledging one simple truth: setbacks are a natural part of life. No one gets through life without facing challenges, whether it's a career setback, a personal disappointment, or a health struggle. We all encounter obstacles, but the difference between those who succeed and those who don't often lies in how they respond to these setbacks. Some people let setbacks defeat them, while others use them as fuel for their next step. The choice is yours. When a setback occurs, it's easy to feel like the whole world is crashing down. It's natural to experience feelings of frustration, sadness, or even anger, but you have to remember that these emotions are part of the process. They're a natural reaction. What truly matters is how you respond to these feelings and what actions you take next. Will you allow this moment to define you, or will you use it as the springboard to your next phase of growth? Turning a setback into an opportunity requires a few key mindset shifts. First, understand that failure is not final, it's only a temporary state. A setback doesn't mean you've reached the end of the road, it's simply a detour, a bump in the journey. When you experience a setback, remind yourself that the story isn't over yet. There is always a way forward, even if it's not immediately obvious. Often setbacks provide us with the space to pause, reflect and reassess. They give us the opportunity to reevaluate our strategies, goals and priorities. Without these moments of pause, we might continue down a path that isn't serving us well, but setbacks force us to stop and reconsider. In that space you can find clarity and direction. Take a step back and think about some of the most successful people in history. Many of them faced huge setbacks, things that could have easily derailed their careers or their lives. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking creativity. Thomas Edison's teachers said he was too stupid to learn anything. Steve Jobs was once ousted from the company he founded. Yet these individuals didn't let their setbacks stop them. Instead, they used their failures as stepping stone to something greater. They refused to see failure as the end of their story. Instead, they saw it as an opportunity for reinvention, for growth, for a fresh start. It's important to remember that every setback is a chance to learn something new. Each challenge presents valuable lessons that can only be learned through experience. When you face adversity, don't just focus on the pain or the disappointment. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What new skills, insight or perspectives can you gain from the situation? Sometimes setbacks teach us humility. Other times they show us our own strengths or reveal areas where we need to improve. Every setback is a mirror that reflects a piece of your character, your resilience or your weaknesses. The key is to look at it through a lens of curiosity, not despair. Turning setbacks into opportunities also requires a willingness to adapt. Life doesn't always unfold according to our plans, and that's okay. The ability to adapt and change course is a vital skill that will serve you well throughout your life. When you experience a setback, it's natural to feel like you've been knocked off your path, but instead of resisting the change, ask yourself, how can I adjust my approach to keep moving forward? Flexibility and adaptability allow you to pivot when necessary, and sometimes Those pivots lead you to better opportunities than the ones you originally envisioned. Think of setbacks as building blocks, not obstacles. Every time you fall you get a chance to rise. Higher failure is not an indication that you are not capable, it's evidence that you are pushing boundaries and trying something new. When you embrace failure as part of the process, you take away its power to hold you back. Setbacks no longer feel like insurmountable obstacles, instead they become opportunities to gather strength, learn new skills and refine your approach. Another essential part of turning setbacks into opportunities is the ability to cultivate resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after adversity. It's the capacity to keep going even when the road gets tough. Resilient people don't give up after facing a setback, they see it as a chance to come back stronger, to build resilience. Start by accepting that challenges are inevitable. When you embrace life's challenges rather than resist them, you develop the mental toughness to handle difficult situations. Resilience doesn't mean you won't experience pain or disappointment, it means that you will not allow those emotions to stop you from moving forward. It's also crucial to surround yourself with a supportive network when you're going through tough times. Having people who believe in you, who lift you up and who encourage you to keep going can make all the difference when you face setbacks. It can be easy to isolate yourself, to feel like you're on your own. But reaching out for support helps you stay grounded and reminds you that you don't have to navigate your challenges alone. Your support system can offer valuable perspectives, advice and encouragement that can help you reframe your setback and see it as an opportunity to grow. Part of turning setbacks into opportunities is also about maintaining a long-term perspective. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to get caught up in the immediate pain or disappointment, but when you zoom out and think about the big picture, you'll realize that a single setback is just a small part of your overall journey. Ask yourself, what will this moment look like a year from now, 5 years from now? Often what feels like a huge setback in the moment will seem small in hindsight. Keeping a long-term perspective allows you to stay focused on your larger goals, and it reminds you that one failure does not define your entire life. Every setback is a moment of reinvention. It's a chance to reset your priorities, refine your goals and begin again. It's the opportunity to start fresh, not because you failed but because you learned. Every failure is a lesson in disguise. It's a message from life telling you that there's more to be learned, more to be done and more to be achieved. Number 18. Take action now and stop waiting for the perfect time. We all have dreams, goals and aspirations, and yet one of the most common barriers to achieving them is the idea that there's always a perfect time to begin. We wait for the stars to align, for the circumstances to be just right, or for all the conditions to be in place before we take that first step. But here's the hard truth: the perfect time is a myth. The right moment, the ideal situation, the perfect set of circumstances, none of them exist. The only moment that matters is now. The truth is, waiting for the perfect time often holds us back. It creates an illusion of control, a false sense of security and an endless cycle of procrastination. Every time you say I'll do it tomorrow or I need to wait for the right moment, you're simply pushing your goals further away. You're allowing fear, doubt and uncertainty to dictate your life instead of taking charge of the situation yourself. You might think that waiting for the perfect time makes sense. Maybe you're waiting until you have more money, more knowledge or more experience. Perhaps you're waiting for a change in your circumstances, thinking that once things are easier or better you'll finally be ready. But what you're really doing is postponing your own potential. The perfect time never arrives because life is unpredictable. Conditions will never be ideal. There will always be challenges, roadblocks and setbacks along the way, but that doesn't mean you should wait. In fact, it's because of those obstacles that you need to take action now, to push through the uncertainty and make things happen despite the imperfections. Every delay, every excuse, every time you hesitate, you lose precious time. Time that you can never get back. Each day that passes without taking action is a day you could have spent moving forward, growing and making progress toward your goals. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, why not make today your starting point? Why not take that first step now, regardless of whether the circumstances are ideal? The first step doesn't have to be big, it just has to be taken. When you decide to take action, you're not waiting for permission or for The perfect conditions you're taking control, you're deciding that your goals, your dreams and your growth are more important than the uncertainty or discomfort you may face. You're acknowledging that there's no perfect time and that the only time that matters is the present. Think about all the opportunities you've missed while waiting for the perfect time. Maybe you've been wanting to start a business but kept putting it off until you had the right amount of capital. Maybe you've wanted to pursue a new career or start a new hobby but you kept waiting for the moment when everything would fall into place. Now think about the regret threat that can come from those missed opportunities. Every time you delay, you push your dreams further away. Taking action isn't about waiting until everything aligns perfectly. It's about trusting yourself enough to take the first step even when you don't have all the answers. It's about starting where you are with what you have and knowing that the journey will reveal itself as you move forward. In fact, the process of taking action will teach you more than waiting ever could. It will help you build momentum, gain confidence and learn from real world experiences, not just theories or plans. Each action you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. There's a reason why so many people look back on their lives and wish they had taken action sooner. Time passes whether you act or not. It's easy to get caught up in the illusion of the perfect moment, but you'll soon realize that the perfect time is really just a series of small imperfect moments. It's the moments when you step outside your comfort zone, when you push through fear and when you decide that enough is enough. Think about how many people have started successful businesses, written books, launched products or made significant changes in their lives by simply taking action in the face of uncertainty. They didn't wait for all the stars to align. They took the leap and trusted that the rest would follow. Some of them failed, but they didn't stop. They learned from their mistakes and kept moving forward. They understood that taking action is the only way to gain experience, learn and grow. Every single day that you delay is a day you can't get back. If you truly want to make a difference in your life and in the world, you have to act. It doesn't matter how imperfect your circumstances are. What matters is your commitment to moving forward. No matter what, you will never feel 100% ready and you may never have all the answers, but that's okay. The key is to start where you are and figure it out as you go. You don't have to have it all figured out, but you do need to take action now. There will always be something that makes you hesitate. There will always be obstacles, fears and uncertainties that try to hold you back, but you have to learn to push past those thoughts. You have to realize that waiting for everything to be perfect is just an excuse to stay comfortable and avoid the discomfort of growth. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens when you challenge yourself, take risks and make mistakes. It happens when you choose to act even when the timing isn't ideal. The most successful people in life aren't the ones who waited for the perfect time. They're the ones who took risks, made mistakes and kept going no matter how many times they stumbled. The best time to take action is right now, and the only way to see results is to stop waiting and start doing so. Let go of the idea of the perfect time and make today the day you begin your journey. Remember, the perfect time doesn't exist. What exists is now. The actions you take today shape the future you will experience tomorrow. Don't waste another minute waiting for a better moment, because that moment will never come. Take action now. You're ready, you're capable, and the world is waiting for what you have to offer. Number 19. Trust yourself and make decisions based on your values. There's an innate power within every one of us, a power that often goes untapped because we don't trust ourselves enough to let it guide us. It's easy to doubt our decisions, especially when the world around us seems full of conflicting advice and opinions. The noise from others, the pressure to conform and the fear of making mistakes can cloud our judgment, but the truth is the key to living a fulfilled and meaningful life lies in trusting yourself and making decisions that align with your values. Every day we face choices, some small, others monumental. These choices shape the direction of our lives and influence who we become. Yet despite the countless decisions we make, it's not always easy to trust ourselves. We second guess, overthink and seek validation from others, but all this does is erode our self-confidence and delay the inevitable. The realization that we are the best equipped to make decisions for our own lives. Why do we hesitate? Why do we allow doubt to seep into our minds and question the decisions we are fully capable of making? Part of it is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment and fear of making the wrong choice. But what we fail to realize is That there's no such thing as a perfect decision. Life is unpredictable and not every decision will lead to an ideal outcome, but that's the beauty of it. Every decision, whether it leads to success or failure, is an opportunity for growth, and it's through this process of trial and error that we truly learn about ourselves. So how do we begin to trust ourselves? How do we move past the doubt and insecurity that hold us back from making decisions based on our own values? It starts with understanding who you truly are, what you stand for, and what matters most to you. When you are clear on your values, you are better equipped to make decisions that reflect your true self, not the expectations or opinions of others. Your values act as a compass guiding you through life's complexities. They are the foundation on which you build your life, and they provide a sense of purpose and direction. Whether it's honesty, integrity, compassion, or resilience, your values define the way you approach challenges, relationships, and opportunities. The more you connect with your values, the clearer your decisions will become. You'll know what feels right, and you'll have the confidence to stand by your choices even when they're not popular or when they go against the grain. Trusting yourself means trusting your ability to align with your values even in the face of adversity. It means being true to yourself regardless of external